Welcome to the Early Learning Kindergarten Virtual Festival. We're so glad you joined us on this evening. The Long Beach Unified District has earned a reputation as one of America's finest school systems, winning many awards as a national and international model of excellence. I am David Zaid, and I serve as the Assistant Superintendent of Elementary and K-8 schools. I'm being joined this evening by Ms. Kate Komatz, our head counselor and enrollment expert, who will be guiding you through a variety of information on this evening. Before we begin, I would like to thank our community partners, the National Council of Jewish Women, the Rotary Club of Long Beach, the Children's Dental Health Clinic. Long Beach Unified collaborates with the Long Beach Early Childhood Committee to host the Early Learning and Kindergarten Festival for families in Long Beach. Our Early Childhood Committee and city community partners support the in-person festivals through volunteering and donations, and we appreciate their continued support for us to be able to offer this on this evening. At this time, we are going to get started, and again, I just want to thank you personally for being here and joining us on this evening. I'm going to turn it over to my co-host, Ms. Kate Komatz, who will be taking us through the information. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Again, thank you for joining us this evening. We're hoping that tonight will give you some clarity around the enrollment process for you as your incoming families for our Long Beach Unified new to Long Beach Unified students. So we're going to get started first talking about our universal pre-kindergarten programs. So we do have, as many of you know, our transitional kindergarten program in Long Beach Unified, but even before that, we have programs Early Head Start, Educare, which is birth to 3 years old, and CDC and Head Start. All of that information is available on our website, and they can serve our students even before they start in kindergarten or in transitional kindergarten. So many calls come through our office daily around transitional kindergarten. So transitional kindergarten used to be for our students with our fall birthdays, or as those of us in the office call them, our fall babies. Now, transitional kindergarten has a wider birth date range, and that is starting in September 2nd to June 2nd. Now, that means that your child would be potentially 4 when they start in transitional kindergarten, and then they would turn 5 within that school year. So again, transitional kindergarten is for students born September 2nd of 2019 to June 2nd of 2020. Our transitional kindergarten program in Long Beach Unified is a full day program of either 8 to 2 p.m. or 9 to 3. We do have a ratio of, or a class max of 24 students, and always another adult in the room. So it's a ratio of about 1 to 12 students. It is important because students in kindergarten, any new student to Long Beach Unified, transitional kindergarten, or any other age, will need to start their enrollment at their school of residence. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. And it should be noted that we have partnerships with CDC and Head Start at some of our TK sites, and the enrollment is a multi-step process. So once you're done with our online enrollment at the school site, you will also be asked to complete enrollment with either CDC or Head Start. Okay, so moving on, since not all of you will be, or all of your children will be of TK age, some of you will be enrolling in our kindergarten program. So it should be noted, kindergarten classes are, and obviously in every school, and I did want to mention, we have TK programs, at least one class and oftentimes 2 classes at all of our schools except for Hudson Elementary School. So you can enter TK at your site. So I apologize. Now kindergarten. So kindergarten is for those students or children that are born between September 2nd of 2018 and September 1st of 2019. They have the same school day, which is either 8 to 2 or 9 to 3. And school for all our students in Long Beach Unified begins on August 27th of 2024. It'll just be around the corner. So we would like to share some exciting new updates to our TK and kindergarten classrooms across our district. So all of our schools last year received updated furniture and materials in every single classroom. And they continue to be updated as we add classrooms as well. So in those TK and kindergarten classrooms, we have so much exciting furniture. When I say exciting furniture, I mean it's size appropriate for our littlest learners. We have chairs that are on the floor or little wobbly chairs for them to move around, colorful rugs, and lots of manipulatives, we call them manipulatives, and materials for our students to engage in learning. So this furniture, like I said, updated everywhere. And then they have areas within the TK and kinder classrooms for students to engage in dramatic play. There's literacy and lots of books and interactive materials for the children with culturally relevant literature. You might even see, actually you will see in our TK and kinder classrooms, little mini kitchens and what's it called? I'm totally blanking on it. Our food items like fake food that the kids can pretend play. So there's lots of opportunities throughout the day in TK and kindergarten for students to engage in play and learning. This learning also, and I should mention the costumes. These students that are photographed in this slide are actually Long Beach Unified students from last year, I believe. Okay, so TK and kindergarten, as I've said before, it's a full day program. There is indoor child-directed play as well as, of course, a rigorous academics aligned with our Common Core standards. We do have teachers that are highly trained and focus on inclusivity and equity throughout our school system. As I mentioned before, the awesome materials and updated furniture inside our classrooms, we've also updated our playground and activities for students outside. So there's a heavy emphasis for our TK and kindergarten students on outdoor education. So teachers have been trained on how to facilitate conversations and activities around students playing outside in nature, engaging with sand or water play. And most of these activities are free choice, so they're able to go around and either play by themselves, like you see this little child, or with friends that you might see in the background. So hopefully that is something that is exciting for all of our children. Expanded learning opportunity programs. So ELOP is our before and after school care. So we have a variety of options for our families before and after school, primarily after school, for our students to engage in continuing their learning in developmentally appropriate ways. We do have Kids Club at some of our sites, and we also have WRAP, which is our Winners Reaching Amazing Potential, which is free for our families. Each school site is slightly different. You will notice after you finish watching the YouTube, there will be a link to our before and after school programs for each school site, specified for each school site. It is important to note that that is a different sign-up process, so you would want to ask an enrollment and inquire about what you would need to do to enroll in the before or after school care. And David, let's pause here for some questions. We're assuming that the chat has been busy and hoping that lots of people have been logging in tonight.
So the chat has definitely been busy, and I want to thank our team,
Yes.
Both Virginia and Christina, who have been answering the questions in the chat. Some of the questions that have come up are in relation to School of Choice, which we'll be covering in just a little bit. Some other questions have included, what time does registration start on February 1st, and do I have to to register in person. Also saw a family come in and share that they have twins, and that is certainly very exciting. We can't wait to welcome them as well. So the majority of our questions at this point have been answered already, but they are discussing school of choice and a few questions about ratio and our TK class and in our kindergarten class.
Okay. Well, let's get started on that. We are going to talk specifically about how to access enrollment on the computer and where to start with that, which starts tomorrow. That's why we're here with you tonight, because we are going to get started and get you ready so you are ready to go tomorrow for our enrollment online. So let me start with that, and I will actually, before we start with that, I will talk about the ratios. So like I briefly mentioned, it's 24 students max in our TK classes with another adult in addition to the credentialed classroom teacher. And in our kindergarten classrooms, it is a 30 student maximum and one adult credentialed teacher. And there's often throughout the day either another teacher that comes in to support for a period of time so that the teacher is able to do small groups, and or an aide, an assistant that is able to support the students for a period of time during the day. That will look a little bit different per site, so you would want to ask your specific site about that. So now we're going to get started with the enrollment process. So this is a very exciting day for many of our families coming up. As I always tell the families in our live kindergarten festivals, that I strongly suggest not enrolling tomorrow just because the computers get really, or our system gets really bogged down. So if you want to do it on February 1st, do it later in the day when it's not potentially so impacted. So February 1st is our enrollment day. It is open at 9 a.m. And you are able to, you, meaning the families, are able to enroll online through our Long Beach Unified School District website. I will show you that in just a minute. You will complete the enrollment online. You can either do it at home in the comfort of your home or at work on a break, of course, or your lunch hour. And you're also welcome to come to any of our school sites. The schools have been charging the Chromebooks. They're ready to go, ready for parents to come in and use a Chromebook if needed to complete the enrollment. I do not suggest enrolling your child or completing the paperwork, but the enrollment process on a smartphone. It's probably possible, but it could be a little bit tedious and frustrating for you. So please come into the school site if you don't have a computer at home or at work. When the enrollment is completed, it will go into our system at the school site of residence. So the school that you live closest to or is in your school zone. Once that registration is complete, it's not finalized until you or someone in your family brings in the proof of age, which would be a birth certificate or passport, an up-to-date immunization record, and 2 verifications of residency. So that would be, for example, City of Signal Hill, City of Long Beach, City of Lakewood, bills. Southern California Edison is another one that we would accept, and anything from the government like a voter registration. We will not accept cable bills or cell phone bills because those can be sent anywhere. And if your child has a current individualized education plan or a 504, then we would also like you to bring that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. Then your child probably doesn't have it. In order to find the school of residence, you can look it up on our website. So that's lbschools.net. You're also welcome to call our office at 562-997-8247, or you can go to the nearest school. So the nearest school may not be your school. It's likely to be, but it may not be, but they can definitely assist you there and give you the information you need. School of choice. So this is once your enrollment is complete, and like I said, your enrollment does need to be completed at your school of residence, then some of our families do choose to want or would like their child to attend a school that's not their school of residence. And that happens for different reasons. So we welcome that school of choice opportunity for our families. And again, it's not a must, it's just if you would choose to. So March 1st is when that opens at 9 a.m. And your your school of choice application would take place on ParentView. So when you do the online process for enrollment, you will get a ParentView account, which houses a lot of your student information as they go through Long Beach Unified. ParentView is accessible for our TK through 12th grade families. And I'm not going to read all of the school of choice timeline, but it should be noted that April 10th is when round 1 ends, but we does open up again afterwards. And there is a process to certify once you if you do receive a school of choice acceptance. So is there any, I don't know if I should ask about or show. I will show when it's the next time for questions, I will show how to access it from our website, so it'll make it easy for you to get started with that. Many of our school of choice options that are popular are our dual immersion schools. So here are listed the dual immersion schools in Long Beach Unified, and we've actually added a few in the recent future if you haven't been here recently. We've added Riley is our newest, and they have kindergarten, and they actually have TK. It's not dual immersion, but they have TK, kindergarten, and first grade, and next year will be second grade in dual immersion, as well as they have an English program. And Bixby, Chavez, Webster, and Henry are schools that are all dual immersion schools, and they do not have an English track. And then Lafayette and Willard have English and dual immersion. And then it should be noted that our students can continue their dual immersion programming in the 6th through 8th grade at our Keller Middle School. Okay. And then special education programs. So students, this is where I mentioned briefly the IEP, so an individualized education plan. So if your child has specific needs or special needs, we are able to accommodate many of our students at the neighborhood school. So we have our resource specialist program and speech and language. They're available at every Long Beach Unified school. If your child has more specific needs or needs something a little bit more that may not be offered at the home school or the school of residence, we do have special day classes that are offered throughout the district and have different programs for different sites. So we would always start at the school of residence and then support with our special education department, support you and your child in moving to a school that has the day class that would be pertinent to your child. And it is also based on space availability at that program as well. So some of our students are at our Buffum Total Learning Center, and they will transition to our elementary school sites, but it may not be the school of residence. On our district website, you can find this map. It does show, this is for the 23-24 school year. It will be updated for the 24-25 school year, probably in the next couple months. And it does show the different programs with the shapes in our different schools across our city. So as you can see, there's a variety of schools with special day classes. And they are, again, from east to west and north to south. If you are interested or if your child is in a special day class and you would like them and you are offered a site that you would like to maybe consider a different part of town or a different program, then the school of choice process would also be the same for you as a parent. It would be through our ParentView, and the same timeline would also pertain. So the March 1st to April 8th. If you are accepted on school of choice with a student for a special day class, you would not receive transportation. Okay, so we are going to pause for questions, and I will take a couple minutes to show you our website. so I may need the screen to go back to our thing. Is that the questions that are coming up, David?
So we have several questions that have come in. Some you have covered, and let me just say I really appreciate all the families that are online getting all of this information. We have quite a few families, and our team is doing our best to keep up with some of the questions. Some of the questions that have come in so far began with special education.
Okay.
And so there was one question in regards to students attending Buffum or students attending currently enrolled in TK. And the question was, do they need to re-enroll if you're already enrolled in Buffum or already enrolled in TK?
Okay, those are excellent questions. I will answer those right away. So if you are a student and you are attending Buffum Total Learning Center, you do not need to re-enroll. Buffum will communicate with you. Buffum will communicate in about April, I believe. And in April, they will let you know what school your child will attend. In many cases, your child might attend the school of residence and in a regular TK or kindergarten class with maybe some other necessary supports. If your child requires a special day class and is not available at the school of residence, then they will let you know what school your child will attend. And at that point, you can do the school of choice. So no re-enrollment is necessary. Buffum your students will transition into they're already in the same computer system, so to speak. The other question was around TK, if the child is
currently in TK, do they need to re-enroll?
Great question. So if your child is in a Long Beach Unified TK class, you do not need to re-enroll. If your child is in a TK class in a dual immersion program, then your child will roll over to the TK at that dual immersion site. If you are in a TK class on school of choice and your homeschool, you will need to do school of choice for kindergarten. So that may get a few questions because we get those questions every year. So I would encourage, if you have specific questions about special ed and your child, and if you have specific questions about TK and rolling over, then you're welcome to call our office at 562-997-8247. And Virginia is super helpful on the phone. I'm also willing to take those calls, and any of the people in the office can answer questions that are specific to either Buffum or the TK to kindergarten rollover.
Yeah, we had a few other questions that came in, and I think this may have been covered early on in the presentation, but there was one question asking for the difference between kindergarten and TK. So just wanting to understand the difference between those. And then the second question that was more of a repeat was just to remind everyone, enrollment will start at 9 o'clock on February 1st. However, we are encouraging parents not to all go in at 9 a.m.
Yes.
So if you wouldn't mind coming at 10 or 10:30 or 11, that would certainly support and help some of our site offices. But one question was in regards to enrollment verification documents, to just do a repeat of that, and then from there, we'll go to some of our after-school programs.
Okay. If we can switch to the computer, and I'm going to show the screen where families will access our enrollment. Yeah, thank you. So here on our enrollment page, and I'll see if I can go back. Yeah, so you see this cute little guy with some advertising of this festival and also the ones coming up this Saturday at Dooley and March 2nd at Roosevelt, thank you. And under this little photo, you see our student enrollment icon, and it will take you to this website, which will be very helpful for our families that are beginning to access resources for Long Beach Unified. So we talked about finding your school of residence. If you click on here, it will take you to the school finder. You can type your address, etc., and get it. When you get to, again, not tonight, but tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, you can click to enroll, and it will take you directly to our online registration and account access. If you already have a Parent View account because you have other students or other children in Long Beach Unified, then you would use that same password and same username and password, and then it will link the children together. Enrollment requirements can also be found here on the website with very specific information in Spanish and English. And these are the on the left hand, well, hopefully you can see, these are the residency verifications that are acceptable. And I did forget that we can have pay stubs, correspondence from a government agency, property tax payment receipts, or rental property or lease agreements. If you do not happen to have bills in your name, or mail doesn't come directly bills like that in your name, then you can go to your school site to request a shared residency form. That does not exist online, but can be found at our school sites. So here you can access our early learning opportunities. It links to pages that will be continued to be updated throughout the next couple months with pertinent information that pertains to our early learning, as well as transitional kindergarten and kindergarten. When this is done, we'll be putting our YouTube on here. And here's some just general information about TK and K. And did that summarize?
That did share with parents where they can get some additional information. What about after-school programs? Where would parents be able to find after-school programs? There are a few parents who spoke to that. And while you are pulling that up, I'll answer another question that came in related to dual immersion middle school. And so one question was, do we have a dual immersion middle school? And we do have one dual immersion middle school at this time, and it is Keller Middle School. So not necessarily related to TK, but for those parents who are inquiring about other children or the longevity of the program, we want you to know that we definitely can go from 5th grade into 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then another question that came in as we are pulling that up was in relation to school of choice. There are several questions coming in relation to school of choice. And one question asked, if my child is accepted on school of choice and I move from my address, do I need to register at another school, or can my child stay at their current school where they were accepted on school of choice? So great questions. Love all the questions that are coming in. But that was one a good question that I
a good question.
pulled out of the pile here.
Okay, so I'll answer that. The answer is as long as you are within Long Beach Unified School District boundaries. So you may be in Signal Hill or Lakewood, you may be attending a school in downtown Long Beach, and if you move anywhere in our boundaries, you are welcome to stay. Again, if it becomes a burden for you with getting there because you've moved, you would need to discuss with the school about options, and you might need to return to your school of residence, but you're welcome to stay as long as you're within our Long Beach Unified School District boundaries.
So while we're on the topic of school of choice, another question that came in relation to school of choice just had to go with siblings. So if a sibling already attends a school and the younger sibling is now coming in for enrollment, is there any prioritization or consideration in regards to siblings and school of choice? Another great question that came in.
Yes, a great question, and we need to add that information to the slide deck because yes. So the answer is yes, a sibling would have priority over another I'm going to say random child, although none of your children are random, that would be entering our school system. We do have to obviously prioritize our neighborhood students first. And if there is space available, then the next space would go to siblings, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, can you speak to Parent View? There was one question in regards to where could parents find information about Parent View. There was one parent who shared that they were having a tough time finding where they could find Parent View.
That's a good question. Now you're really putting me on the spot here. Okay, so I will go back to I do want to make sure we do address our after-school programs, because I know that is a big, a need for most of our families, because a lot of us do work and do require that longer daycare. So if my backup team can go to the computer, I did want to show our sites. So this is our wrap sites. And you can click on here it will have enrollment, it will have the schools, etc. And it does not have what I was looking for. But I will tell you that here's the wrap sites. And watch it not work. Oh my goodness. After YouTube, we are going to have a link that will have all our after-school programs. Oh, there it goes. It was just a little bit slow. So here it shows the school name and the after-school program. So I'm going to click on to Gompers, and then it tells me that Gompers, the site director's name, and the school's address, and then their agency that they are collaborating with, which is Action Youth America. So right there is our WRAP, which is our after-school programs at almost all of our schools. I'm not sure if it's 100%. I should know that. And then your other question was about Parent View. So to answer your question about Parent View, on our website, you can go, I'm going to try to go back to the main homepage.
Main menu.
Yeah, and you can go to the main menu where we're going to go to families, because that's you all, and you will go to the Parent View login. Now again, if you are a new to Long Beach Unified family, you would not have a login yet or a Parent View account, but that's what you will be creating tomorrow or the next day for Parent View, yes, to enroll and then to access. Parent View will house not just enrollment, but other assessment information, testing, notifications for your child. So I am going to go back to the slides, if that's okay, and we're going to get back with our program. Okay, so here we are going to be talking specifically about school, just general school information for your upcoming TK or kindergarten child. So we have strongly encouraged all of our schools to update their websites. So many of our schools have done a great job in giving announcements, sharing photos of fun activities that they're doing at their site. All of that information can be accessible directly school to school. Their schedules also, we have either an 8 o'clock start school or a 9 o'clock start school for elementary schools. It does vary per site, and throughout the district they're a little bit different. If they start at 8, they end at 2 o'clock for our TK and kinders, 2:05 for up to 3rd grade, and 4th and 5th at 2:10, and then an hour later if you're a 9 o'clock start. Before and after school programs can also be found on our school's website, and again, we will share a link at the end of this YouTube video that will give specific before and after school programs per site. Long Beach Unified, since the mid-90s, has been a school district that prides itself on students wearing uniforms. So we do have a uniform policy at our schools, in all our elementary schools, starting in TK, where typically navy blue bottoms and either a white, navy blue, sometimes light blue, sometimes red, sometimes dark green polo shirt, or what we call spirit wear. So it might be, I just clicked on Gompers, so it might be a Gompers spirit t-shirt that has I think they're the Gompers Gators, so they would have like an alligator on there. So uniforms are strongly encouraged for all of our students, and it's a lot easier as a parent for sure. So check in with your school. That should also be on the school website around their specific colors that they allow. We are so fortunate that we have free lunch and breakfast for all of our students in Long Beach Unified, and that is available usually about 20 minutes before school starts. Our children can eat breakfast in the cafeteria, as well as at lunchtime at their designated lunchtime. And you can talk to your school about that. I wanted to add that with this school information, we have strongly encouraged our elementary and TK-8 schools to host either a parent information night or a school tour for our incoming TK and kinder families. We know that there's a lot of questions you have that we cannot answer tonight about every single school, because David and I have worked at many schools across Long Beach Unified, but we don't know the ins and outs of all of them. So we strongly encourage you to check in with your school. Some of our schools are doing kinder tours in February and others in March or maybe even April. Our dual immersion schools do offer tours as well. That information can be found on our Long Beach Unified School District website, the dual immersion page. And then just a little plug for our parent involvement. We cannot educate our children without the support of our families. So we in Long Beach Unified strongly encourage parent involvement. So whether that's you're joining the PTA or the PTO, you're helping out at a fit-a-thon, or you're counting out beads for a project for kindergarten coming up, whatever it is that you're able to do, we are open arms to our parent support. In order to work in the classroom, though, you do need to be screened through our Volunteers in Public Schools, and that's a VIPS application that can also be found on our school's website. If you are an incoming parent and do not have any other children in Long Beach Unified, you would need to wait until your child is fully enrolled at the school in order to apply, because it is an application that is specific to one school site. So you would need to know where your child is going to be. But yes, please check out our school websites. And we did encourage our families, if you see things that are outdated, either call the school. You're also welcome to call our office and let us know. We do welcome feedback, or to let us know that if a certain type of information would be helpful on the website, we would love to get that feedback so we can reach out to our schools to make our websites even better. Okay, so we're getting to the end. We will open it up to a few more questions, but if you are a parent that is eager and excited about, well, hopefully all of you are, eager and excited about getting your student in our Long Beach Unified Schools, there's a few things you can do to help them get ready. So some kids have been in school, in a preschool setting or a home daycare, or maybe just home with you as well, and that's great. And then so kids are coming to us with different experiences, but in order to prepare them for separating from mom, dad, grandma, auntie, whoever, you can do a few things. Here are some book suggestions. Actually, I hate to say this, but I haven't read these, but I am going to go and check these out because they actually look kind of cute. Planet Kindergarten. I can't tell you what it's about, but I'm sure it's about getting ready for kindergarten, and The King of Kindergarten, and All Are Welcome. So getting kids prepared and ready and talking to them about kindergarten can really make the transition a lot smoother for you as well as them. And then practicing, we do not expect kindergarten students to walk in reading and writing and all that. That's our job, right? So, but it can help if you can make sure that they know their first name, that they can at least say it out loud, and maybe their last name. If they can read it or write it, that's even better. If they can tell you some letter names and letter sounds. But again, that's not a necessity. It's just, it might give them a little jump start. And also counting. If you can just start practicing counting at home, whether it's counting steps when you're walking, or cups when you're putting things away, or silverware or grapes or Skittles or whatever it is, anything like that, just in your day-to-day routines, just starting to build in pointing out letter names or pointing out how they can count different things. Okay. And a few other quick little items. Having your child in a kindergarten class or a TK class, it does require them to be a little bit independent. They are going to have support, of course, but some things that you may be used to doing for them, like opening their juice boxes or punching in the straw on the Capri Sun, which we all know is a great challenge, or opening packages. A lot of us as moms and dads and guardians and family members help them do that. When they go to kindergarten or TK, we have adults that are there to help, but we don't have as many hands to do it as quickly as some of our children would want. So having your child practice opening those items can be very helpful, and may cause or may allow for your child to have a less frustrating experience. Also, working on independent toileting and hand washing and getting dressed, just so that they can be independent at school. So in August, I know that seems very far away, but it will come up soon. In August, starting to talk about a routine and getting them in the habit of going to bed maybe a little bit earlier, getting up a little bit earlier. That will be helpful for your child as well as you. And then finally, if you choose, once you get your school site all situated, taking a picture in front of the school, getting them ready and excited about the first day of school. And hopefully you will be the only one in a little bit of tears and not your child. Okay.
That's funny.
We do want to, or do we have any more questions?
We have three more questions. Love
Okay.
some of the ideas that you gave to the families on ways that they can get ready for coming into kinder. So love all those ways that parents are able to read with their kids and purchase books that they can read to them at night or throughout the day. Also, that idea of counting, whether I'm counting my cereal or whether I'm counting food items or whether I'm helping put food away and counting. All of those things are so helpful in helping our students prepare for incoming K. One question that came up was in relation to inter-district permits.
Oh, great.
And there was a question in terms of either when they can be turned in, or if you live outside of Long Beach and you really want your child to come to a Long Beach school, what steps can you take?
Okay, that is an excellent question, and I'm glad that someone asked that. So we are a district that does welcome inter-district permits, and we do like students that live in our surrounding neighborhoods or neighborhood districts to attend our schools. That process is a little bit different. You would not go online and enroll. You would need to fill out an inter-district permit, and that is available on our school's website. Actually, it's not available. If you're coming into Long Beach Unified, you're going to go to your home school of residence. So that would be if you are living in Paramount, for example, you would have to be released from Paramount Unified School District in order to attend Long Beach Unified School District. So the process is clearly explained on our website, and also, again, a shameless plug for our awesome office team that we will be happy to assist you in answering any of those specific questions. The number is area code 562-997-8247. And if you are interested in coming in the district, we would like to speak to you personally and making sure that we can make that a smooth transition. But the first step is being released from your neighborhood or your school district that you live in. Mm-hmm.
So great. And I think some of the other questions are more of repeat questions. So just maybe one more time, registration starts tomorrow. Officially, it starts at 9 a.m., but we want to encourage parents and families to stagger that time. And then one more time, there was one last question in regards to verification and making sure that parents are enrolling at their home school or their resident school, and what verification items do they need, just as our final repeat.
Sure. So proof of address would need to be 2 proofs of address, and that would need to be pay stub, mortgage statement, bills, bills from Southern California Edison, City of Long Beach, City of Signal Hill, City of Lakewood. All of those we would accept. We would also accept any government correspondence, such as or voter registration. Also, I think I said mortgage, but a rental agreement as well. So those are also listed on our website, but also feel free to call your school of residence. We do not accept cable bills, etc. That's it. Was there one more?
No, that concludes most of the questions that have come in. Again, we want to extend a special thanks to our community partners, the National Council of Jewish Women, our Rotary Club of Long Beach, and our Children's Dental Health Clinic. We appreciate all the ways that you partner with us and support during our in-person fairs, which the next in-person fair is actually coming up this weekend, so we can't wait to actually meet some of you in person, because we'll be in North Long Beach this coming weekend at Dooley Elementary School. That is Saturday, February 3rd from 9 a.m. to 12. And then also at Roosevelt.
No, on March 3rd. On March 2nd.
At Roosevelt Elementary School on Saturday, March 2nd. We'll get that corrected. But again, we look forward to meeting everyone in person at Dooley, and we hope that we were able to answer all of your questions.
Yes, and so if you want to see us live, yes, I do the enrollment and district information at the in-person fairs. And so again, it'll be Dooley this weekend and in March. And then I also want to say that both at Dooley and Roosevelt, we will be there with computers, and you can enroll your child online right there. And we have some of our experts in enrollment that will be there to assist if you have any questions, or if you've been frustrated over this week with the process. We will happily help you on February 3rd, and hopefully we will not have any rain.
No, I'm hoping that we have a little rain coming in tomorrow. We're hoping for clear skies on Saturday. However, that sounds really exciting, so we may need to repeat that we will have individuals with computers there at Dooley that can support our families with enrollment. So again, we want to thank you one more time for joining us this evening. We had a little over 200 that were watching, and we really are excited about the excitement that is out there around enrollment. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Any concluding thoughts or words that you want to share?
Nope, just wanted to remind everyone that we are here at the elementary and TK8 office to help support. We do know there are times when the computer doesn't work or the enrollment process isn't as smooth as you would like. And again, we welcome your feedback. We look forward to helping and supporting you either on the phone or in person at our virtual festivals. So please feel free to give us a call or join us this weekend.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.